A very warm welcome to each of you. Thank you for coming here to witness the Arangetram of Mihira, Stanek and Damani Sayeed. I am their teacher, Elizabeth Kurian, and the artistic director of Pragati Art Foundation. On behalf of the students' parents, Kavita Anand, Joe Stanek, Doctors Omar Saeed and Choi Chatterjee, and on behalf of Pragati Art Foundation, I extend a very warm welcome to this evening's Arangetram ceremony. For those who are unfamiliar with the term Arangetram, it's a Tamil word. Arangetram means ascending the stage for the first time to be able to perform a full repertoire in Bharatnatyam. And to perform a full repertoire entails being able to demonstrate different skills that highlight the various aspects of Indian dance. This requires many years of training in Nritta, which is pure technique, Nritya, which is expressional dance, and Natya, which is the dramatic aspects. Mihira and Damini have trained with me for 13 years, and they are well prepared. So, taking the blessings of the Almighty, the blessings of my Guru, Srimati Shyamala Surendran, who resides in Kerala, and the well wishes of each of you, we begin this evening's Arangetram. The masters of ceremonies for today will be Shaheen Sayeed, who's the older sister of Damani Sayeed, and Purnima Stanek, who's the older sister of Mihira Stanek. They have themselves been dancing with Pragati for the past 16 years and definitely been a guiding light for their younger siblings. I invite the two masters of ceremonies, and they will guide you through the program.
I would like to make a few announcements before we begin. Please turn off all cell phones. Please exit and enter only between breaks in the performance through these doors. And please do not take any videos or photographs. We have a professional videographer and photographer here with us today.
भजमानस विघ्नेश्वरमनीशम् भजमानस विघ्नेश्वरमनीशम् भजमानस विघ्नेश्वरमनीशम् भजमानस विघ्नेश्वरमनीशम् विघ्नेश्वरमनीशम् भज पूर्वभग सदनगणेशो भजमानस विघ्नेश्वर Vikneshwaramanish Gajavadanam Dudidogha Vinasham Gajavadanam Dudidogha Vinasham Gajavadanam Dudidogha Vinasham Gajavadanam Dudidogha Vinasham Gadashamanam Shatasuryanigasham Gajavadanam Dudidogha Vinasham Gadashamanam Shatasuryanigasham Bhajamanasa Vigneshwaramanish
The first piece will be the Natyanjali. Natyanjali, a Sanskrit word, denotes the concept of dance as a divine offering. In this unique invocatory piece, the dancers pay obeisance to various facets of the divine: the remover of obstacles, Ganesha; the source of true knowledge, Saraswati; the preserver of life, Vishnu; the destroyer of evil, Shiva; and to the guru, or teacher. Each facet of the divine energy is invoked in 5 different ragas, melodic scale, and thalas, rhythmic scale. This piece is in Raga Malika and Thala Malika, choreography by the Dhananjayans.
தாம் 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 தரிகிடதக தீம் 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 தரிகிடதக தும் 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 தரிகிடதக நம் 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 தகதிமி தாம் 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 தரிகிடதக தீம் 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 தரிகிடதக தும் 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 தரிகிடதக நம் 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 தகதிமி தாம் 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 தரிகிடதக தீம் 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 தரிகிடதக தும் 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 தரிகிடதக நம் 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 தகதிமி தாம் 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 தரிகிடதக தீம் 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 தரிகிடதக தும் 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 தரிகிடதக நம் 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 தகதிமி தாம் 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 தரிகிடதக தீம் 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 தரிகிடதக தும் 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 தரிகிடதக நம் 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 தகதிமி தாம் தாம் தரிகிட தீம் தீம் தரிகிட தும் தும் நம் நம் தகதிமி தாம் 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 தரிகிட தீம் தீம் தரிகிட தும் தும் நம் நம் தகதிமி தும் தரி தி தரி தும் தரி நோ தரி தகதிமி தரிகிட தரிகிட தாம் தரி தி தரி தும் தரி நோ தரி தரிகிட 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 தாம் ததீம் 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 திமிகிட தக ததீம் 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 திமிகிட தக ததீம் 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 திமிகிட தக தீம் 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 தின்னம் தரி குடு தித்தி தின்னம் தின்னம் தரி குடு தீம் 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 தின்னம் தரி குடு தித்தி தின்னம் தின்னம் தரி குடு தி கிண்ணம் தி கிண்ணம் தி தி கிண்ணம் தி கிண்ணம் தி கிண்ணம் தி கிண்ணம் தி தி கிண்ணம் தி கிண்ணம் தா தா தக்கிடதகரா தீம் தீம் திக்கிடதகரீம் துகுர்தக தக துகுர்தக துகுர்தக தடம் குதும் தகததி கிணதும் தடங்குதும் தகததி கிணதும் தக்கிணதும் தகணம் கிடதக திக்கிடதும் தகணம் கிடதகும் கிடதும் தகதரி கிடதக தீம் 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 நௌதரி கிடதக தாம் தத்தோம் தாம் தரி கிட தீம் தரி கிட தொம் தரி கிட நௌ தரி கிட தக்கிடதும் திக்கிடதும் தும் கிடதக அகஜானன பத்மார்த்தம் கஜானனம் அகணீஷம் அகஜானன பத்மார்த்தம் கஜானனம் அகணீஷம் அநேகதந்தம் பக்தானாம் ஏகதந்தம் உபாஸ்மகே அநேகதந்தம் பக்தானாம் ஏகதந்தம் உபாஸ்மகே சா சனி பகனி பகனி கபனி சனி பகனி கபனி கபனி சா சனி பகனி பகரி கபனி பா சனி பகரி சரி கபனி கரி சனி பரி சனி பா சனி பகரி பகரி சரி கபனி கஜானனம் அகணீஷம்
தக்க தக்கிட்ட
This next piece is the Shabdam Ayashariya in Tamil. Shabdam means word in Sanskrit. In the Shabdam, the element of nritya, or expressive dance, is introduced through simple lyrics for the first time in the repertoire. This Shabdam describes the mellifluous music that emanates from Lord Krishna's flute. With curly hair swaying in the wind, the beautiful lotus-eyed Krishna plays magic on his flute. Neither his mother nor his father know that Krishna, who steals butter from the cowherds, also stole the heart of the gopis, or milkmaids. As a little boy, his tiny fingers caressed the flute, and his coral lips breathed magic through it. As a young cowherd, Krishna, who lifted Mount Giridhar and danced on the poisonous snake, Kalia, plays magic on his flute. This piece begins in Ragam Kamboji and is in Mishra Chapu, which is a 7-beat cycle. This piece is composed by the Tanjore Quartet.
அறிந்திடாமலும் அன்னை தந்தையும் தெரிந்திடாமலும் நெய்ய கோபியனில் கவர்ந்திட மாயவன் குழலூதுராயசேரிய அறிந்திடாமலும் அன்னை தந்தையும் தெரிந்திடாமலும் அறிந்திடாமலும் அன்னை தந்தையும் தெரிந்திடாமலும் பெயர் கோபியனில் கவர்ந்திட மாயவன் குழலூதுராயசேரிய அறிந்திடாமலும் அன்னை தந்தையும் தெரிந்திடாமலும் பெயர் கோபியனில் கவர்ந்திட மாயவன் குழலூதுராய் மாயவன் குழலூதுராயசேரிய அறிந்திடாமலும் அன்னை தந்தையும் தெரிந்திடாமலும் நெய்ய கோபியனில் கவர்ந்திட மாயவன் குழலூதுராய் எங்கள் யாதவன் குழலூதுராய் எங்கள் யாதவன் குழலூதுராய் எங்கள் யாதவன் குழலூதுராய் சடங்குதும் தகததிகிணதும் தஜனு ஜனு திமி ததோம் தனகின ததிமி திமி கிட சுருண்டிருண்ட குழல்கள செய்திட சுந்தர முகம் புலகிட மருண்டமானினம் மீகை மறந்திட மாயவன் குழல் போதோராய் சுருண்டிருண்ட குழல்கள செய்திட சுந்தர முகம் தொலங்கி மருண்டமானினம் மீகை மறந்திட மாயவன் குழல் போதோராய் சுருண்டிருண்ட குழல்கள செய்திட சிறுவிரல்கள் குழலை தழுவிட செங்கமலக்கள் சாய்த்திட குருவிகழ்வை உருவம் நெருகிட கோபால குழ ஊதுர சிறுவிரல்கள் குழலை தழுவிட செங்கமலக்கள் சாய்த்திட குருவியழ்வே குருவல் நெருகிட கோபால குழ ஊதுர சிறுவிரல்கள் குழலை தழுவிட செங்கமலக்கள் சாய்த்திட குருவியழ்வே குருவல் நெருகிட கோபால குழல் ஊதுர சிறுவிரல்கள் குழலை தழுவிட செங்கமலக்கள் சாய்த்திட குருவியழ்வே குருவல் நெருகிட கோபால குழல் ஊதுர எங்கள் வயலில் குழல் ஊதுர எங்கள் வயலில் குழல் ஊதுர எங்கள் வயலில் குழல் ஊதுர தடங்குதோம் தகததிகிணதோம் மோகம் கொண்டோடி வேகமாய் வர கண்ணனே தியானம் செய்திட கோவிந்தல் குழல் கீதநாதமோ கோபியர் செவி சாய்த்திட மோகம் கொண்டோடி வேகமாய் வர கண்ணனே தியானம் செய்திட கோவிந்தல் குழல் கீதநாதமோ கோபியர் செவி சாய்த்திட கோவிந்தல் குழல் கீதநாதமோ கோபியர் செவி சாய்த்திட மோகம் கொண்டோடி வேகமாய் வர கண்ணனே தியானம் செய்திட கமல 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 கண்ணனே தியானம் செய்திட தடங்குதோம் தகததிகிடதோம் தத்தின்னம் தகுந்ததிகிட தக தகதின்னம் தகுந்ததிகிட தகதித்தின்னம் தகுந்ததிகிட தக தடங்குதோம் தகததிகிடதோம் ததையதே தத்ததா
The next piece is the Varnam Rupamujuchi in Telugu. The central piece in a Bharatnatyam repertoire, the Varnam challenges the stamina, memory, and skill of a dancer by weaving seamlessly all three aspects of dance, Nritta, Nritya, and Natya. The Varnam has three main parts in its structure. It begins with complex rhythmic movements called jatis in 3 speeds, followed by lyrics, intermingling with jatis for each line. The middle part, called the Muktaiswara, bridges the 2 halves with lyrics and rhythmic footwork. The third part, called the Charnam, or fast-paced lyrics, is accompanied by swaras and footwork for each lyrical line. The first part of the Varnam describes the physical beauty of Shiva. Having seen the perfection of your form, I have fallen in love with you, O Shiva. Please don't be angry with me. For the past 3 lives, my life has been filled with sorrows. Please take my sorrows away, O beautiful one. Tyagaraja, why are you so indifferent? Muktai Swaram, I hear people praise you all of the time, and I have fallen in love with you. And Charnam, you are as bright as 1,000,000 rays of sun, O handsome one. The Cupid's arrow has pierced my heart, and I cannot contain my love for you anymore. Dearest one, at your feet I remain, filled with love in my heart. This is in the Ragam, Thodi, and Thalam, Adi. Composed by Muthuswami Dikshitar, choreography by Rukmini Devi Arundale.
రూపము జోచి వలచి వచ్చి దీని రూపము జోచి వలచి వచ్చి దీని రూపము Jai
धणा ताकदत जणू ताकदत धिमी धरी किट ताकदत धणा
తరుణమిదిర సుమశరములచి మరిని పొలలుగిరి బలవునిలో పొడద గుణ తరుణమిదిర సుమశరములచి మరిని పొలలుగిరి బలవునిలో పొడద గుణ తరుణమిదిర మార కోడి స్వదర
We will now begin the second half of our performance. As a reminder, please only enter or exit through the side doors in between pieces. This next piece is a bhajan, Paga Ghungru, in Hindi. This hymn, attributed to Mihira, the Bhakti poetess from 16th century India, celebrates her deep love for her beloved Lord Krishna. Damani will enact with gestures a gist of the poem to help you follow along. Mihira was born a Rajput princess, but defied the social divisions of caste and class by singing praises of her lord along with the commoners. She followed a guru from the untouchable caste. Mihira says, "I tie my dancing bells and dance for you, my Krishna. I love to serve you." Seeing Mihira's complete devotion to Lord Krishna, her husband's family begins to doubt her commitment to their family. Angered by her extreme devotion, her father-in-law attempts to poison her. But Mihira's lord turns the poison to nectar. And having drunk of the nectar, Mihira dances in bliss. People say, Mihira has lost her mind. Her family says, she is a dishonor to us. But Mihira says, he is my Lord, the one who lifted Mount Giridhar to save people from the massive floods. Come quickly to me, O indestructible one. This hymn, or bhajan, was popularized by the eminent Carnatic singer, the late M.S. Subbalakshmi, recipient of the Bharatnatyam Award, the highest civilian award given by the Indian government. This is in Chaturashra Eka Thalam, a 4-beat cycle. The composition is attributed to Mihira, and the choreography is by Dr. Elizabeth Korean.
ತಧಣ ತಣ ತಧಣ ದೀನು ತದಿಮ್ಮಿ ತಧಣ ತಣ ತಜಣು ದೀನು ತದಿಮ್ಮಿ ತಧಣ ತಣ ತಧಣ ದೀನು ತದಿಮ್ಮಿ ತಧಣ ತಣ ತಜಣು ದೀನು ತದಿಮ್ಮಿ ತಧಣ ತಣ ತಧಣ ದೀನು ತದಿಮ್ಮಿ ತಧಣ ತಣ ತಜಣು ದೀನು ತದಿಮ್ಮಿ ತಧಣ ತಣ ತಧಣ ದೀನು ತದಿಮ್ಮಿ ತಧಣ ತಣ ತಜಣು ದೀನು ತದಿಮ್ಮಿ ತಧಣ ತಣ ತಧಣ ದೀನು ತದಿಮ್ಮಿ ತಧಣ ತಣ ತಜಣು ದೀನು ತದಿಮ್ಮಿ ತಧಣ ತಣ ತಧಣ ದೀನು ತದಿಮ್ಮಿ ತಧಣ ತಣ ತಜಣು ದೀನು ತದಿಮ್ಮಿ ತಧಣ ತಣ ತಧಣ ದೀನು ತದಿಮ್ಮಿ ತಧಣ ತಣ ತಜಣು ದೀನು ತದಿಮ್ಮಿ ತಧಣ ತಣ ತಧಣ ದೀನು ತದಿಮ್ಮಿ ತಧಣ ತಣ ತಜಣು ದೀನು ತದಿಮ್ಮಿ ತಧಣ ತಣ ತಧಣ ದೀನು ತದಿಮ್ಮಿ ತಧಣ ತಣ ತಜಣು ತಧಣ ತಣ ತಧಣ ದೀನು ತದಿಮ್ಮಿ ತಧಣ ತಣ ತಜಣು
पग घुंघरू रे पग घुंघरू रे पग घुंघरू रे पग घुंघरू रे पग घुंघरू बांध मेरा नाची 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 रे मैं तो अपने नारायण के मैं तो अपने नारायण के मैं तो अपने नारायण के हो गई अब ही दासी रे मैं तो अपने नारायण के हो गई अब ही दासी रे पग घुंघरू रे पग घुंघरू रे पग घुंघरू बांध मेरा नाची रे पग घुंघरू बांध मेरा नाची रे पग घुंघरू रे पग घुंघरू रे विष का प्याला राणा जी ने भेजा 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 मीरा बैल बाबरी नाथ कहे कुलदासी रे, नाथ कहे कुलदासी रे। मीरा कहे प्रभु गिरिधर नागर, 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 मीरा कहे प्रभु गिरिधर नागर। सहज मिले अविनाशी रे, सहज मिले अविनाशी रे। पग घुंघरू रे, पग घुंघरू रे, पग घुंघरू बांध मीरा नाची 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 रे, पग घुंघरू रे, पग घुंघरू रे, पग घुंघरू रे, पग घुंघरू रे। अपने नारायण की हो गई अपनी दासी रे, हो गई अपनी दासी रे, हो गई अपनी दासी रे।
This next piece is a kirtana, Ananda Natamirum Padam in Tamil. This piece celebrates the glory of the Lord of the dance, Shiva, as he dances blissfully in the golden temple of Chidambaram. Your feet dance without ceasing, O Shiva, who bestows knowledge to those who seek it. You dance with a damaru, or two-headed drum, in your hand. The moon adorns your head, and the Ganga flows peacefully through your locks. Your waist is wrapped in tiger skin. You are the companion of the sweet-voiced Parvati. Righteous in character, you are worthy of praise as you dance blissfully in the golden temple of Chidambaram. This piece is in Ragam Kedaragola and Aditalam. It is composed by Uttakara Venkatasabayar and choreographed by the Dhananjayans.
ആനന്ദ നടമിടും പാദം, ആനന്ദ നടമിടും പാദം, ആനന്ദ നടമിടും പാദം, ആനന്ദ നടമിടും Thank you.
This next piece is a padam in Dendu Vachitivira in Telugu. Padams are compositions that highlight the relationship between a lover and her beloved. This padam portrays an angry heroine or Kandita Nayaka. Mihira will now enact with gestures or mudras a gist of the padam to help you follow along. The heroine spots her lord visiting another woman's house. He now has come knocking at her door. Brimming with anger and sarcasm, she says, "Why did you come here? This is not the way to her house. Please, go away." Mocking him, she asks, "Aren't you the mighty man who lifted the Mundra mountains? But when you're with that beautiful woman, you forget everything. And now you come here, to me, on that beautiful moonlit evening. You couldn't even see the way to my house? Were you blind?" With one glance from her, you were love-struck. Just look at you. Her love is fake. She only wants your money and jewelry. But me, I'm not like that. I don't want to see you anymore. Get out. This piece is in Ragam Surati and is in Mishra Chapu, which is a 7-beat cycle. This piece is composed by Kshetraya and imagined by Priya Darshini Govind.
ಇಂದೆಂದು ವಚ್ಚಿತಿವಿರಾ ಇಂದೆಂದು ವಚ್ಚಿತಿವಿರಾ ಕಸ್ತೂರಿ ರಂಗೇಶ ಮಂದರಗಿರಿ ಧರುಡೈನ ಕಸ್ತೂರಿ ರಂಗೇಶ ಕುಂದರದನ ಮದಿನಿ ಕೋರೋಸು ನೀವೆ ಬೋಡು ಮಲ್ದರಗಿರಿ ಧರುಡೈನ ಕಸ್ತೂರಿ ರಂಗೇಶ ಕುಂದರದನ ಮದಿನಿ ಕೋರೋಸು ನೀವೆ ಬೋಡು వచ్చే దేవేరా ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ವಿನ್ನలలో ఇల్లు తెలియగ నీవు ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ విన్నలలో ఇల్లు తెలియగ నీవు ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ విన్నలలో ఇల్లు తెలియగ నీవు ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಬೆಳలలో ಇಲ್ಲು తెలియగ నీవు మచ కళ్ళిని తగిని మరచిన మచ కళ్ళిని తగిని మరచిన మచిగ తోటోద మనసు సల్లగ చేసి జూజి కౌగలించిన కోమలి నేగను మచిగ తోటోద మనసు సల్లగ చేసి
The final piece is the Tilana in Tamil, followed by the Mangalam, an auspicious ending. Tilana is a concluding piece in a Bharatnatyam recital. The outstretched arms, leg extensions, brummeries or pirouettes all together give the Tilana a certain dynamic quality. A predominantly rhythm-based composition, the Tilana enables the dance recital to end on a lively note. It concludes with a verse in praise of the goddess Rudraeshwari, the protector of the Ramanathapuram village, which is today a bustling city in Tamil Nadu, India. This is in Ragam Paras, Thalam Adi. This piece is composed by Puchi Srinivasa Iyengar, choreography by Rukmini Devi Arundale.
Tanom tanata dirana Dhirana
With that beautiful piece, we have concluded the performance for the evening. We would like to extend our deep gratitude to these talented musicians who have traveled all the way from India to make this event possible.
On the flute, we have Sri Sujit S. Naik. He is recognized as one of the most promising young flautists in Carnatic music. He started training at the young age of 5 under Sri O.K. Subramanian from Kerala. He continued his advanced training in flute under late Padma Shri Dr. N. Ramani and did his diploma in music in the famous Kalakshetra institution for 3 years. He has a master's in music from the University of Madras and is an All India radio graded artist. He is a recipient of several noteworthy awards, such as Best Young Flute Solo Artist from the Madras Music Academy, Best Instrumentalist Award from the Ramani Academy of Flute, and several others. He has performed on an international scale, including Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Middle East, Australia, United Kingdom, Canada, and the United States. He has collaborated with some of the legends in Hindustani and Western music, and has been working in the field of Carnatic music for 18 years.
On the violin, we have Sri Rajesh Cheruvilla. Sri Rajesh Cheruvilla started learning violin and vocal under the tutelage of his father, Gopala Krishnan Cheruvilla, since the age of 4. He started performing at the age of 8 and simultaneously learned tabla under Hari Bhai. Furthermore, he moved to Chennai for advanced training in vocal and violin at the famous Kalakshetra Foundation, where he received his diploma. Rajesh has been part of national and international festivals, such as the Konarak Festival, Surya Festival, and Khajuraho Festival. He has performed internationally, including Singapore, Malaysia, Japan, and the United States. He's been performing for the past 20 years.
On vocals, we have Sri Binu Venugopal. He is an accomplished and highly qualified vocalist who began learning Carnatic vocal at the age of 5 under the tutelage of his grandfather, Sri Malabar Sukumaran Bhagavatar, who was a prominent Carnatic vocalist from Kerala, India. He holds a master's degree in music from Calicut University. He is the 2012 winner of the prestigious Yuvalayam competitions conducted by Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam. Over the years, he has been performing extensively in the Middle East, Switzerland, Japan, and the United States. His professional associations with eminent artists like the Dhananjayans, Priyadarshini Govind, Shobana, and Shobana have won him many accolades.
On the mridangam is Sri Ramesh Babu. Sri Ramesh Babu is an accomplished percussionist from Chennai, India. He began learning percussion under the able guidance of his father, Sri K.P. Bhaskar, and master teacher, Sri Pudukode S. Krishnan. His mother, a noted Bharatnatyam dancer and teacher, Kalamandalam Chandrika, helped him train as an accompanist for dance. An A-grade artist for All India Radio, his skills earned him a scholarship from the Cultural Department of India. His search for excellence led him to Guru Sri Karaikudi R. Mani. Sri Ramesh has emerged as a successful freelance artist who has accompanied some of the finest dancers and musicians of India, including luminaries such as the Dhananjayans, Krishnaveni Lakshman, Chandrasekhars, Leela Samson, and Alarmail Vali. He has worked as a dance accompanist for the Dhananjayans at the Bharata Kalanjali for the past 16 years. Apart from a percussion virtuoso, with proficiency over several types of musical instruments, Ramesh has many musical compositions to his credit. His skill and versatility have earned him a high praise from the art critics and audiences on international scale, including India, Australia, Singapore, the United States, and Kuwait.
With the Natavangam, we have Dr. Elizabeth Kurian. Natavangam is the art of conducting an Indian dance recital by providing rhythmic structure to the performance with a set of symbols and spoken rhythmic syllables. Dr. Elizabeth Kurian is a Los Angeles-based dance scholar, choreographer, and instructor. She's an expert of two forms of Indian classical dance, Bharatnatyam Kalakshetra style and Mohiniyattam Guru Kalyani Kuttiyami style. Elizabeth was trained from a very young age under the tutelage of Guru Shyamala Surendran with Dharani School of Performing Arts in Kerala, India. She received her master's in performing arts from Central Government University in Hyderabad, India, and her PhD in critical dance studies from the University of California, Riverside. Elizabeth is the recipient of the Sarojini Naidu Scholarship of Merit and the Chancellor's Award at UCR. She's the artistic director of Pragati Art Foundation, an organization she formed to foster learning, practice, and inquiry of Indian dance. At Pragati, children are trained in a detailed manner in both the traditional repertoire of Bharatnatyam, Kalakshetra style, as well as in building new movement vocabularies. Kurian believes that such an engagement between the immediate and broader movement cultures is essential in order for dance to thrive as a meaningful artistic practice. We would now like to invite our three guest speakers to say a few words. First, we have Srimati Vijayalakshmi, who is the artistic director for the Center of Mohiniyattam, New Delhi, and the founder director of the Mohiniyattam Institute in Agora Hills, California. Daughter and disciple of Guru Bharati Shivaji, she is acknowledged as an expert of Mohiniyattam today. She is a recipient of several prestigious national awards, including the Kerala Sangeet Natak Academy Award. We would like to welcome you up on stage. Take the flowers.
Namaskar, everybody. It's an absolute privilege and honor for me to be here today, and I'm delighted to be here. And I'd like to first convey my heartiest congratulations to Dr. Elizabeth Kurian on presenting Damini and Mihira, right? On presenting them on their debut performances, on their debut performance today. It just speaks of tremendous dedication, or not just on part of the teacher, but dedication from the students and parents, and I know exactly what it entails. And I wish them all the very best in their continuing onward journey of Indian classical dance, of Bharatnatyam. But before I leave, there's just one thing I'd like to share, that Indian classical dance in general is a very powerful medium for an individual to express themselves. And as most of you also know, because it evolved in the temples, it's also a means of the dancer reaching out to the divine. And to the young students present here, the only thing I would say is it would be very valuable for them to just ask themselves just 2 or 3 questions. Why do I dance? How do I feel when I dance? And how can I take this experience to every other aspect of my life? Because the more we dance with awareness, the more enriching it becomes. And Indian classical dance it's a very powerful medium which can impact our lives in a very profound way if we so allow it. Thank you very much.
Next, I would like to introduce Dr. Ananya Chakravarti. Dr. Ananya Chakravarti is an assistant professor of history at Georgetown University and an author of the monograph, The Empire of Apostles, Religion, Accommodatio, and the Imagination of Empire in Modern Brazil and India, that was recently published by Oxford University Press.
There's a really old question in the philosophy of art, which probably goes back as long as philosophy and art. How does fiction provoke real emotion in us? Now, in India, the first person to try to attempt a systematic answer to that question was Bharata in his Natya Shastra, which roughly dates between 200 before the Common Era and 200 after the beginning of the Common Era. Indian dates get a little iffy. If you're paying attention, that's roughly coeval to Aristotle's Poetics. And his answer was what has come to be known as the rasa theory, that there are 8 permanent emotions, and that this can be experienced, can be enjoyed through 8 rasas that are associated with them. Later, a 9th, the one of peace, was added. But whereas Bharata, as someone writing a shastra, technical treatise, who is interested in giving us the blueprint of what is still today visible in the technical mastery that you saw here, in evoking emotion in us. For him, this was first and foremost a cognitive enterprise. It would take another millennium, roughly, for somebody to refine this idea in a way that speaks to me much more directly. So Abhinavagupta, writing in the beginning of the first millennium of the Common Era, a Kashmiri Shaiva thinker, for him, rasa was less about the mind alone, but it had to do with the heart, hriday sambandha. And more importantly, and this is where I really like his ideas, all emotion, including the ones like anger or disgust, is pleasurable. Now, not everybody agreed with Abhinavagupta. Could you really feel pleasure and disgust? And yet, as we know, those of us who like Indian food, there's pungent and hot and bitter flavors in our cuisine, and they too create pleasure. And so as we saw today with these extraordinary young dancers, they gave us pleasure despite the fact that they evoke so many different emotions. So whether it was Mihira giving us the experience of hasya, I doubt anybody didn't have a belly laugh during that extraordinary performance, or whether it was Damani making us feel the fear of her father-in-law trying to poison Mihira, and the joy of Mihira, completely, blissfully in love and free with our Lord. untouched by this poison. We felt it all. And the most amazing thing about emotion, and the Indian thinkers who thought about this around the same time, because roughly around the same time, at the other end of the country, in Tamil Nadu, there was an extraordinary attempt to bring emotion into the Sanskritic world, joining together the old Sangam world of Tamil culture with the Sanskritic culture. And that idea evolved to include the fact that emotion ultimately was a path to the divine. So Abhinava Gupta tells us that the enjoyment of rasa is like the bliss that comes from realizing one's identity with the highest Brahman, for it consists of repose in the bliss, which is the true nature of one's own self. So I thank you, not just you, the dancers, but the musicians, and especially your teacher, for giving us all that moment of repose and bliss.
We would now like to welcome Dr. Jude Lucas, Department Chair of Visual and Performing Arts at LaSalle Catholic College Repertory and the Artistic Director of the Aurora Repertory Theater, up to stage.
First, I want to thank you so much for giving me this great honor. Aristotle was mentioned earlier, the poetics, and the catharsis that I experienced in watching these two remarkable young women and listening to these incredibly gifted and divinely blessed musicians. I have no words that I could really impart to you as to what has happened in my presence here. For Mihira and Damani, who I don't know, I just met her today. But what was remarkable to me today as I partook of this miraculous event, this transformative event, is that these two young women, these beautiful young women, gave of themselves in a way that was breathtaking. I come from the world of theater, and I always tell my students, the theater is sacred space. It's interesting that we are in a church facility because for me, theater is transformative. It is where the God, where the divine comes and inhabits you and transforms you. And these young women did exactly that to me today. It was an intimate and moving experience. Even though there was laughter, there were tears, there was expertise, there was the gift of a teacher, that without that teacher, where would we be? I was so moved by every single movement, every single mudra, every single expression, but I was especially moved by the community that I see here, expressing themselves through the gift of dance, through the God-given voice and the words and the music and the experience. I have worked with Mihi since she was a freshman. I've known her since before she was a freshman. I guess she was 13 when I first met her. And the transformation that has happened with this young woman has been breathtaking. It's just awe-inspiring. I love her dearly, and I want to thank Joe and Kavita for inviting me today. I want to thank you for including me in this piece of divinity, of magic, of transformation. Thank you, every one of you. Thank you.
In deepest gratitude to Dr. Elizabeth Korean, Director of the Pragati Arts Foundation, whose artistic vision, executive capacity, and deep mastery of the Bharatnatyam form that has made this event possible.
Our last bouquet of flowers is for the young woman who made us look like this tonight and who was backstage the entire time in case a pin popped or whatever can happen. We'd like to thank Tarini. Thank you so much. Okay. And I'm Mihira, for those of you that don't know. And thank you all for coming out tonight. We've worked so hard for 6 weeks, and it really means a lot to us that you came out and you showed your support. I'd like to thank my mom, who's worked harder than I have to make this day happen. I guarantee that. So thank you. And of course, I'd like to thank Kamanu Auntie, who has taught me so much in dance and in life in general. And if it wasn't for her as a teacher, I don't think I'd be willing to wake up at 4:30 every day. But you made it worth it, and this was so worth it, and I thank you so much. And you are literally a second mom to us.
I would also like to thank everybody for coming out here tonight. Thank you to all the friends and family who flew out here from different states and countries. I would like to thank Kavita Auntie, Uncle Joe, and my parents so much for putting all of this together and doing more than I could even imagine. I would like to thank my mom especially for waking up at 4:30 with me to drive me all the way to come to Auntie's house. Thank you to the musicians for flying here from India. Thank you to my sister for inspiring me to start Bharatnatyam. And thank you most of all to Kamanu Auntie, who made my love for dance grow so much more than I could ever imagine in the last 6 weeks. Thank you so much, and as Mihi said, you really are a second mother to us, so thank you.
Okay, I have so many thank yous to say. First of all, to Farrell Null, the event coordinator, to Fred Harrison and Albert, who's at the sound. Everything went without a glitch. Thank you, Albert. The very talented lighting designer, Eileen Cooley. Eileen, a dancer herself, and you can tell. Mihi and Damu did thank Tarini Shanmugaraja, but I want to thank her again from the bottom of my heart. The girls looked so polished, everything in place, in spite of dancing, jumping around. Tarini herself is a professional dancer, and along with her mom, runs the Kalapeetham school. And I really appreciate Tarini for coming here, spending the entire day with us, and then backstage with all the details. Thank you so much, Tarini. I want to thank our musicians. I know Ramesh sir since my Arangetram. And we've had a very long association and a very strong bond, and it's just magic that they do here. Even without me saying the jatis come out of Sir's Mridangam like that. So I just want to thank Ramesh sir, Sujit, Rajesh, Binu. It was just fabulous. Our wonderful, charming MCs, Shaheen and Purnama. I have to say, it took a lot of work to try and enunciate the long, unending Indian names that we have. And that kind of work, I think, is what it takes to understand another culture. And I really appreciate, in spite of them having flown down recently for their summer holidays, they were here the entire day and evening yesterday trying to get all the names right. Thank you, Shaheen and Purnama. I want to thank the parents and students of Pragati Art Foundation. I have seen that they really become a community, and so many of the parents and students are here helping out, even without asking, taking care of whatever needs of the musicians. The needs were unending, and so many parents and students have pitched in. A big, heartfelt thank you to the parents of Mihira and Damani. Kavita, Joe, Omar, Choi, you have been with me since I started teaching here. You have been as much as a guide to me. That has helped me guide my students, and I value that. Thank you very much, not only for supporting your children, but really encouraging the process of dance learning. This is how we thrive. Thank you. I don't want to forget my own family. I tend to do that. So I want to thank my husband, his undying support. Okay, without him, I wouldn't be standing here and doing what I'm doing. So I want to thank my husband and my children who have danced as much with me these past 6 weeks. Finally, I want to thank the stars of this evening, Mihira and Damani. I've known them before they even started kindergarten. They used to come with their older sisters and watch class, and I distinctly remember Mihi, even though she could walk, crawling around. So I've seen... So it's been a very much a pleasure and an honor to have known these two girls. The past 6 weeks, Mihi and Damu, they've been saying they actually woke up at 4:30 and have been coming to my home for practices. And it just confirmed to me, my girls are made of steel. Not only did it's not just the practice. They have practiced hard, you can tell. But after all that practices came the wonderful live music that is accompanying them. Now, they had to learn to respond, because that is where you are now beginning to zone into intuition. And I think they have come to understand intuition comes with hard work. It gets peaked. The harder you work, the more easily you can anticipate what is coming, because you cannot practice everything as is, like to CD music. That is why we have so much energy here that they gave us and the dancers gave back. So Mihi and Damini, I want to say thank you for allowing yourself to be so vulnerable with me. You have been so honest. You have told me when you are sad, when you're nervous, when you were doubtful, when you were happy. And because of this honesty, we could do and accomplish what we did. And in these past one whole week that the musicians have been with us, what they have learned is actually learn to build their consciousness so that, like I mentioned, this element of intuition is peaked and they can make quick changes or adjustments, sometimes without even knowing. It happens so many times even today. So you have worked hard and done well. You both and many of our students have come to know that what the culture, the dance we are enjoying today is the result of the perseverance and imagination of generations of artists that came before us. And it is this kind of willingness that you had to iterate and reiterate and do it again and again 1,000 times and make those small individual changes which you saw in their pieces. This, I think, makes the raw material for innovation, for creativity. And I hope dance will remain a life companion for you, Mihi and Damini. To Mihira. When training got hard, at my home studio, the way she protested at 6 a.m. was rolling up in a fluffy blanket and rolling around the studio. She did that, and she looked at me sideways to see what my reaction would be. What I appreciate is not just the protest and then overcoming it, but finally, the piece she did in Dendu, which she did, I think, 1,000,000 times, and then one day she told me, now I get it. I get how it's supposed to be done. That took a lot of perseverance from Mihira, and I want to congratulate her, and on this occasion, present her a plaque from Pragati. Damini. She's always been the silent one. So when she speaks, we all listen intently. For the few times that she speaks, it was a delight. Last week she came up and told me excitedly, I felt it. And to this, hearing that was a big gift to me. That is why we do the whole process of Arangetram. So Damini dear, I want to present you a plaque as well on your accomplishment. I think I'm done with my thank yous, so I'm going to hand it back to the MCs. Sorry. I wanted to especially thank each of you here. You have made this a success. Thank you for coming out, taking the time, supporting our kids. Thank you so much.
We are now done with the show. They will be taking pictures outside for 10 to 15 minutes. And if you, probably longer, if you want to join us, please, for dinner out in the courtyard. We would love to have every single one of you eat the amazing food. Please. Thank you.